I'm gonna start out with happy Friday, everybody. How's it going? Been a rough day. We had a hill to climb, and I had an epiphany or whatever. I don't think epiphany actually applies to this, but a situation arose, and rather a hard one, a difficult one, and I'll share later. But if I'd been intoxicated, I wouldn't have been able to handle the situation as well as I'm handling it now. And it's funny because I always thought, I'll drink and I'll whatever, and because it's so overwhelming, I can't deal with it type of thing. Well, if I haven't learned anything in the last 5 years from enduring, having bad times, struggling, and making it sound really good in my head, I can make it sound really good in my head, justifying certain things, and because I thought I could beat that, I could beat it, and, sometimes we all need a little help, and I was bad about that, and so I chose, in order to get help, there's many aspects, stability, sobriety, getting certain little things that I couldn't seem to get together when I was drinking seems so easy now. And I'm 47 years old, and in the last 5 years a lot has happened, and many people have heard my story or bits and pieces of it, and I always say this, but I've always, boo-hoo me. We make choices in life, and we don't always make good choices, but sometimes choices get made for you, and I think certain things happen, not certain things, everything happens for a reason. There is a reason for this hard climb right now, this little bit of a bump in the road. There's a reason for it, and I quite haven't figured out the lesson of it yet. Maybe it wasn't the path that I had to take. Maybe it was a bad choice. Maybe I don't know. If I sit here and think about it all day long, it was simply just shit happens, and now correcting it is on the path now. And the funny thing is that I haven't thought about trying not to be sober, which for me is a big one, because that was my go-to, isn't it? Everybody's, well, I mean, if I guess what I'm trying to say is that I handled the situation so much better, clear-minded, if I wouldn't have been clear-minded, and for that, I'm proud of myself. For that, that's growth. It's a milestone in my head, and I would have allowed the issue to fester inside so much so that, I would make an excuse. Oh, well, I'll just take care of it the next day, or I made it easy, make promises to myself, and because I did all my drinking alone. I mean, I wasn't ashamed of it or whatever. I was a quote-unquote functioning, obviously not, because, hey, I had to take another path. And my path in sobriety at this moment in time is different. Everybody's is different. Normally, I would sit and worry about the reasons why I don't feel, or how come I'm not doing this, that, or behaving, or why because I've seen the light, so to speak, the proverbial light of the problem's always going to still be there. Whatever problem's going on, drinking and doing things that you're not supposed to do not help it. No matter how much we think that we're in control, or it's not affecting us, or anything to that extent, it's just an eye-opener for me. It's just something that I would have never thought to think of, because I thought, oh, I'm right, I got this, it can be taken care of and whatnot. But so on that note, I just want to say happy Friday, and I'm tired, and it's been a long evening, even though it's just getting started. And, hey, it may be kind of a boring, I'm not bored, actually. There's always a lot to do. And, working and doing meetings and, having support and leaning on good people, and I don't feel alone, and so I'm really grateful. I'm grateful for all those that have crossed my path, good or bad. A lesson has always been learned, and I'm hoping I'm giving it back to the power it be, God, the universe, spirit, the divine, in taking those things and absorbing them and understanding them, and letting go, surrendering to, I only have control of certain things, and I can only control myself and choices that I make. And I'm not perfect. I'm no better than anybody else. This just is my path for me at this moment in time. There's many factors that involve it. This choice. I always used to say, well, I don't want to stop drinking. I don't want to be sober. I mean, part of me didn't think I could ever function sober. Part of me is like missing your right arm or whatever. Such a part of my being or essence or whatnot, and it always will be. But the actual using of alcohol has been detrimental in many ways. I've gotten in trouble. I've never been in trouble for smoking marijuana, but I've been arrested a couple times for drinking, and hurt people emotionally, and I'm trying to free myself, making amends with myself. I've made many amends, but there's always more to make. There's always learning, there's always growth. So I just wanted to say something a little more poignant than, hey, what am I doing? When I just felt a little inspired about how grateful I am. And then just for right now, just for this moment in time, taking care of what's at hand, and doing my best to not overthink it, underthink it or overanalyze it, and knowing that I don't have control of a lot of things. And it is Friday, so I'm gonna take the weekend and do some self-care. Just worry about me and my needs, and get right back on track as far as going to meetings, doing your outpatient stuff or whatnot. Because sometimes that gets a little monotonous. And so, like I said, everybody's recovery is different, and mine happens to be where, I'm taking the lessons. It's not the proverbial norm, although I recognize that there are certain things that have to maintain in order to keep these things up. So, anyhow, I don't know. All I gotta say is happy Friday again, and don't do anything I wouldn't do, and, I feel good. I feel proud of myself. I feel like the world's not going to end, and confident, and all of those good things. And this has always been a part of me. These things, I just didn't care to look at it and thought that I wasn't worthy of it. But I am worthy. You're worthy. We're all worthy. This is life, and there's more to it than materialistic things, relationships or intimate relationships. Although of course I want partnership. It's not like on my number one list, but I'm not against having a partner, boyfriend, whatever. So anyhow, c'est la vie, love and light, and tomorrow is another day. Be safe.